Hello everyone, thanks for joining. We've got cold rain in your weather update right now. And for the weekend, what we have going on is going to be a chance for this light rain and drizzle and showers and storms through Friday, Saturday, and now Sunday morning. So the rain will continue through Sunday morning. That is the new update between yesterday morning and this morning. Cold rain through Sunday AM, rain, drizzle, and near freezing temperatures. There is a spot on the map with freezing temperatures, and I'll show you where that is coming up in just a few seconds. And finally, you're going to need the rain gear and winter gear as you're watching how close those temperatures are getting to freezing over the weekend. Good morning, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Carly Smith. The time now is 11:06 a.m. and we are breaking down the chance of freezing rain, the chance of rain, who has the best shot at all of the above, but specifically where is the freezing rain potentially going to be? Right now, I'm targeting Freer. So if anyone is watching this and you live in Freer, know somebody that lives in Freer, share this update with them, get them to share their information, any updates. Is it just rain there? Is any rain starting to accumulate as ice? The surface temperature is down to 32 degrees. Now, I'm not overly concerned about roads out that direction. Surface roads should be fine. Bridges and overpasses, we will have to watch out for the chance of some of this rain to potentially be freezing rain. Now, you can see radar starting to indicate that temperatures may be starting to warm up in Freer. We also have a thunderstorm, so if that temperature stays 32 degrees, that could be a lot of rain, and that could actually accumulate on things like power lines and so forth. But yeah, thunderstorm now approaching Freer right now as we speak, which is just crazy because it's so cold, and we're talking thunderstorms. So there actually probably could be some sleet with this. I'm going to have some fun while we're on this live. Raining in Alice. So we have rain, no ice accumulating with that rain on elevated surfaces such as especially metal surfaces. That's where freezing rain tends to accumulate first, Mario. So if you have any updates on that question, that would be so helpful. But Alice is above freezing, whereas Freer is not. So what we have, here's the problem. There's a warm nose in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so this isn't showing the temperature of our storm here, but actually the coldest temperatures are at the surface of the storm, and this storm is growing and it's only grown at 25-ish to 30,000 feet, right? So it's not very tall. When we're typically talking hail, we're talking 50,000 feet. But this is a thunderstorm that is approaching Freer now. No major impacts other than there's thunder and there is a chance that there could be some freezing rain since air temperatures are freezing there. Hey Joel, what's up? So everyone else is getting rain. So I'm going to zoom back out real fast while I go and look at some of our sounding data from the National Weather Service. But I want to give you a look at all the temperatures. So if your temperature is above freezing, right, then we are not concerned with freezing rain whatsoever. It's just a cold rain. So everyone in the coastal bend from Falfurrias to Pawnee to Port Aransas, we're all above freezing. It is cold, don't get me wrong, but it's not freezing, and water cannot freeze unless it's 32 degrees. But Freer is the one spot on the map where it's 32. Radar has been showing that freezing rain is possible. Now we have a thunderstorm moving in, so that could be more impactful if the rain does freeze on contact. So I'm going to look. The sounding comes from Corpus Christi, unfortunately, not Freer, but it'll still give a good idea of what's going on. But please post your questions, comments, and concerns, and definitely post your reports, even if it is just rain. If you're from Corpus Christi and you're saying it's raining, that is just as helpful as any reports from Freer or Duval County of any freezing rain or sleet trying to mix in. But when I look at the Corpus Christi sounding, which you're not going to be able to see that closely. Okay, so we are above freezing. My kilometer to mile or feet calculation is not what it should be these days. 30,000 feet to kilometers. So that's 9 kilometers. So we get above freezing. We don't get above, or we get below freezing again because there's a warm layer. So we do that roughly at 4,000 or roughly at 15,000 feet. So 15,000 feet is where the freezing layer starts in the cloud. So I'm just trying to see if there is any chance of hail, which doesn't look like it. We're not saturated at that level. But anyway, it is below freezing, higher up in the cloud, then anything would melt, and then we would wind up with, yeah, I mean, the cold layer starts again roughly 5,000 feet, so there could be a chance for freezing rain there in Freer. But again, I have no ground truth at this point in time, so if anyone is from that area, please let me know. Okay, we were back. So if you're worried that the volume isn't working, don't you worry. Raining in San Diego, but no icing. Is that true, Mario? Cold and light rain in Rios, Texas. These are all great reports. So yeah, we do have lightning. Again, that is headed toward Freer. So with the temperature at 32 degrees, that does have me a little concerned for some higher accumulation there on 59. But Benavides is at 33, and the rest of us are well above freezing. So the rest of the coastal bend, we are not concerned about freezing rain. There is going to continue to be more light rain moving north and to the northeast as we continue on throughout the day. So here's another view of radar without the numbers on it. You can see the heaviest storm is approaching Freer now as we speak. So Benavides to Freer, we've had some pockets of heavier rain. We also saw that through areas of Kennedy County, Brooks County, Claiborne County, and even Corpus Christi got in on a little rain. So right now, looking further to the south though, not a lot of rainfall showing up, but in the valley there's some light rain, and all of their temperatures are above freezing as well. So Freer is really the only trouble spot at this point in time. Perfect, Mark. Thank you so much. Just light rain in Falfurrias. Hey, Eva. Jeff says, will it rain in Corpus Christi today? Yes, at some point, but it's very off and on. We've got very off and on rain. It's not going to be persistent by any means. So yeah, yes, there is a chance of rain. Will it rain? Yes. Will it be a lot? No. The heaviest rain day, the most guaranteed rain, with a thumbs up for guaranteed, is going to be Saturday. So Saturday is the day we're going to see the most rain in Corpus Christi, but we did just have this little shower that's now in Portland pass over the city. So you can see that right through here. So it kind of missed downtown. So it depends on where you live in Corpus Christi, but there's definitely been some light rain in the area. So we're not without rainfall here. But in this cold snap, this is going to be through Sunday morning. We've got the cold rain. You've got to bundle up and have rain gear. So winter gear and rain gear needed through the weekend. So now we're going to check it out on Futurecast. So we're already past 9 o'clock. Let's get to lunchtime. This model not doing great. Let me find another one. Okay, so here is the current conditions, which is doing better. It's overdoing it now. So the other one was underdoing it. This one is overdoing it. But you do see Saturday morning, we start to see more pockets of moderate to heavy rain mixing in, and then more persistent rain into Saturday evening and overnight into Sunday morning. Now, Sunday morning, there may be some thunderstorms, but look at these temperatures. We're all right around 40, 45. So no risk of freezing rain Sunday. Saturday morning is another day we're going to be watching for the chance of freezing rain. So you'll want to tune into First Edition. Don't forget on Saturday, that is from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. We are on, we are live, and we have live updates. I will not be here. I believe it will be meteorologist Faith Colbert, but you can get the updates there, and it would be great because it's temperature. So basically, if you are getting a temperature reading of 32 degrees and below, and it is actively raining, there is a chance of freezing rain. what will the impacts be? Likely surface streets, no impacts whatsoever. Your car windshield may have a light glaze of rain on it or ice on it, not expecting a lot. And additionally, bridges and overpasses do have the highest risk of becoming icy. So you'd want to avoid those or drive extremely cautiously over them. I'm not saying don't drive. If you're headed towards San Antonio, you may want to consider not driving until later in the afternoon. They have a greater chance for the freezing rain to mix in. Let me make sure this is not the precip type one. So now let's go through this again. So there we have some pinks trying to mix in. But again, if we stay above freezing, there will be no freezing rain. If we're below freezing, there will be a light glaze of ice possible. So by Saturday, 10 a.m., everyone should be above freezing pretty easily. But you do see, again, it's going to be Duval County and it's going to be B County, Live Oak County that have the greatest risk for freezing rain Saturday morning. So this is paused right here at 8:30. Let's make it 8 a.m. so it's even. 8 a.m., 33 Beeville, 33 Freer, 34 George West, Benavides, 33 Hebronville. So this line from Hebronville up through Beeville and then north and east of there really has the greatest risk of some freezing rain, but it's very low at that. But you should be alert, you should be aware, and you should make the decision on how that's going to impact your day. By noon, we're clear. So this is how I have it kind of mapped up out on our road conditions for South Texas. Overall, this is a minimal impact event. However, this morning, there's a low chance of ice, mostly in Duval County. Afternoon, above freezing, so we're fine. Tonight, freezing rain. The closer you are to San Antonio, possibly Duval County, you do have another chance of a light glaze or some freezing rain to shape up. San Antonio really has been the target for that. By Saturday afternoon, everyone's above freezing, everyone's fine. If you need to drive to San Antonio, it will be completely fine, worry-free by Saturday afternoon. And that continues into Sunday. However, I say worry-free, roads will be wet. So not perfect, but not icy, right? So the green I have indicating that roads may be wet. The yellow is maybe icy, and then I just erased all the colors for clearing and no issues into Sunday, just to differentiate that, because I don't think at any time it will be a red event, right? It's not an extremely dangerous situation, but it is cold and there is rain in the forecast, and you've got to pay attention to those temperatures as you're making decisions on what you're going to do. So as far as the winter precip, it's possible, specifically closer to San Antonio. You may want to add B County, Live Oak County, Duval County. I don't think Corpus Christi will see any frozen precipitation of any kind. The coastal low is moving north, and that's what's going to enhance the Gulf moisture. But at the same time, we actually have an upper level feature too that's going to play a role as well. So here's a Futurecast. So you'll see the coastal low coming up this afternoon and into the morning. Overall, rain is very spotty. Let me get this to have the latest data on it as well. The island, no. The island will not have any freezing rain. I can say that confidently because it will be too warm, Rick. So what's up? Thank you for watching. Roads to Houston, Saturday morning. It depends on which way you go. If you stay closer to the coast, you'll be fine. If you do go up toward Victoria, or if you get on I-10 for any reason, that's where it may be a little ice. There is a risk for some ice. Otherwise, should be fine. Victoria really should be fine as well, but the further north you get, the greater the chance of some ice mixing in. But the rain isn't quite getting started out that direction till a little later. So let's see. This is one of those live streams where I'm doing it as we go. So it's a little bit more raw, but hopefully you appreciate that. Where is the model? There it is, precip high res. We want the latest run for the system time, but it's not gonna move. Okay, that still looks like what I showed this morning. Let's see if this one is out. Nope, it's still loading. Okay, so this is fine. So what you're gonna see is as the coastal low moves north, that increases our rain chances. So this is San Antonio. Now our data has freezing temperatures possibly at 8 a.m. through Pleasanton, San Antonio reading at 34. But remember, this is the hill country, right? So there's different levels of elevation that come into play and elevated bridges and things like that. So the biggest thing is there's gonna be a mix. Some areas may freeze, some areas may not up there into the hill country, especially north of San Antonio. The rain becomes less likely north of I-10, but it's kind of right there, that I-10 corridor that has the greatest risk. So as I was mentioning, someone asked about driving to Houston. Victoria right now looking like it stays above freezing, but the closer you get to I-10, so Wharton, Columbus, getting a little bit closer to that freezing mark. This is at 8 a.m. Again, in order to get ice, you have to be below freezing at the surface. And if it's 33, there will be no freezing rain. If it's 32, there may be some freezing rain. Now that said, it will be elevated surfaces. I don't think bridges necessarily will freeze very easily, even at 32, but once it gets to 31, 30, that air going under the bridge is going to cool down the concrete as well on the bridge. The reason why surface streets don't freeze is because the earth is emitting heat and helping keep that concrete and blacktop a lot more warmer. So anyway, by 9 a.m., Wharton, Columbus, likely above freezing. San Antonio starts to get above freezing. So 9, 10 a.m., I think we're doing much better. And then temperatures are likely going to be closer to 40 all day Saturday night. And this is when our heaviest rain is going to be. So Saturday night into Sunday morning. Did everybody hear that? Saturday night into Sunday morning, that's when our heaviest rain will be. There's a chance for a few thunderstorms that try to pop up right here into Sunday, late Sunday morning, or mid-Sunday morning as you're getting out the door Sunday morning. So we'll have to watch out for that. Some heavier rainfall totals may be possible for the northeastern region of the coastal bend, and then all the rain starts clearing out by lunchtime Sunday. So again, that timeline is going to be isolated to scattered, mostly light rainfall, but an isolated thunderstorm today. Freezing rain, possible in Duval County right now, but reports are showing not really likely. Then finally, we have Kingsville. A question about Kingsville. Kingsville, I think we're just going to have rain. I don't think you're going to get below freezing. I think you're just going to keep rain. So, okay, we have a report. Terry, we already have freezing rain in Sinton. Truck has ice on the hood and back window. So, yeah, that is a great report, Terry. I'm so thankful for that because it's hard when you're just staring at radar and numbers and data. You don't always know what the ground truth is. And so when it comes to winter weather and when it comes to severe weather, ground truth is so important. And we really appreciate that. And I can't emphasize that enough. So, Mark, I appreciate your update about no freezing rain in Freer, and I do appreciate the update about the freezing rain in Sinton. So Sinton's temperature right now is 37, but different valleys, different areas could be reading differently. So with that being said, if we do see freezing rain, surfaces like Terry said, truck has ice on the hood and back window. So the hood, unless your engine is running, is pretty cool, right? And it's a metal type of material, tends to be colder than concrete, essentially. So metal's gonna freeze easier, glass is gonna freeze easier as well. And so elevated things made of metal, like fences and signs, they may have some ice accumulation on them. Surface-based streets and roads, I'm not confident in. I say I'm not confident. I am confident, but I want to say that I don't think they're going to have major issues or major impacts, right? It's going to be some spotty areas where you get the glaze of ice on elevated things. And bridges and overpasses do count as an elevated thing, but it has to be still freezing for a while to get that concrete to fall below 32 degrees for the water to stay freezing when it makes contact. What time are you driving planning to drive to San Antonio, Lisa, and also the closer to noon you can go, the better. So by lunchtime should be fine. And again, check the radar. Check drivetexas. I believe it's .com. drivetexas.org. Don't go to .com. drivetexas.org is a great resource as well to check road conditions, especially if you're going to big cities like San Antonio. They will have, there's an ice and snow layer you can turn on and off, and that layer really fills in if there's ice or snow on roadways up in the bigger cities really fast. And so definitely check Drive Texas before you go. Check the radar and watch for sedition. That's going to be key. But if you have a way to look at the radar, that is helpful too. We have a radar on KIIITV.com you can look at for sure. There's a live radar, so don't just go to a static image radar. There's a tab with a live radar. That's the one I would use. But the closer to noon, the better. You probably could leave earlier than that. Let's go back to Futurecast, this one. So here, 8 a.m. still pretty cool temperatures. By noon, we're almost 40 in San Antonio. So around 10, sometime between 10 and noon, I would say is the earliest I would feel safe, completely safe driving to San Antonio. I would be cautious if I left any earlier. I don't think it's going to be extremely dangerous, but there is a chance that there could be some ice on the bridges and overpasses, especially up in the San Antonio Hill Country area. Again, once we get past Saturday at noon, no worries when it comes to ice, but we will have the heavier rainfall Saturday night into Sunday morning now as this coastal low kind of chills a little bit. And then we're going to talk about what gets it moving again. So you see this chance of storms Sunday morning, then we start to clear out. We'll see the sun coming through before sunset. And then something I want to emphasize while we're on this live is it does look like we're going to run into another sea fog pattern next week, because guess what? Our temperatures are going back up. So as our temperatures get warmer, we're going to have the warmer air flowing over the cold sea surface temperatures, because last I checked, it did fall below 50 at Corpus Christi Bay at the USS Lexington. Let's see what it is right now. I don't think that's the one I want. So, it's 47.8 now. So it's 47.8 out in Corpus Christi Bay. So sea turtles are impacted once it gets below 50. So we could have some cold-stunned sea turtles if any of them that were released made their way back into some of the shallower water here locally. So yeah, we'll have to watch out for those sea turtles. Unfortunately, if you are boating this weekend, as far as boating goes, it will be windy, so I don't advise getting out on the water unless you absolutely know how to handle the windy conditions. But yeah, some nice rain is moving through the area. We are about to enter a break, which I think the model that I showed the break. So we're about to enter a break, except for up near Freer. So this has shown some lightning. It's not currently, but Freer is definitely getting some heavy rain moving through, which I'm sure y'all will appreciate as long as it's not ice, right? And there is a chance, you're 32 according to the reading, that there could be some freezing rain. So the main things that would be impacted, we went over this just a second ago, elevated surfaces and things that are made of metal and possibly car windshields. So if you're driving, once we get through Saturday morning, there is no concern whatsoever. I can confidently say there will be no freezing rain in South Texas by Saturday morning. So the worst opportunity will be tonight into Saturday morning. If you're driving north towards San Antonio, toward Houston, if you take the coastal route, you should be fine. And then Sunday, the rain moves out in the morning. Finally, here is what's going to push the rain out. Zach, I'm not one to do long-range forecasts because they change all the time. and I haven't even looked at long-range data. However, I will say we do tend to get cold. As far as freezing, that's a bit of a question mark, but we have cold fronts all the time in March, so I would expect another colder snap. As far as freezing temperatures, that does become a rarer event once we hit March. Okay, so anyway, what is kind of fueling our storm chances is out ahead of this low. You see storm energy behind the low. The storms actually kind of form ahead of that energy, but that's maybe through Sunday morning. But once this energy gets to us, we get more of a westerly push in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it gets a little stronger. And what that's going to do is help push that coastal low more into the Gulf, and we're going to enter a more boring weather pattern. Now, there is another cold front possible Thursday, which would be closer to the start of March. That would be February 27th. However, it looks like a drier front at this time. It doesn't look like a super cold front. So, yeah. That is pretty much it. I think I've answered everyone's questions. Hopefully we got through the basics of everything, but passing showers and storms today, more widespread rain into Saturday, especially Saturday night into Sunday, and then finally Sunday we clear out and temperatures start to warm up. So that's going to do it for this live update. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith for 3 News at First Edition signing off. I hope everyone stays safe and warm. My kind of weather is back next week, so I will be very happy then. For now, thank you so much for watching. And a special thank you to everyone that sent in any reports.